Listen, the reason these brands are so successful and persuading you to buy their products is because you're so easy to read. This video may make you feel like you're not in control, but it's just human psychology at the end of the day. Humans are psychologically wired to respond to certain cues, and these brands have figured out how to trigger those cues to communicate with your subconscious. So in this video, we're going to look at how these brands use commercials to persuade us, the tactics they use to make us buy whatever they want. All these brands are trying to trigger strong emotions. They craft stories that create a sense of connection or evoke a personal memory that makes you feel emotionally invested in the brand. Brands intentionally use provocative or controversial themes to create positive and negative reactions simultaneously, so you don't know how to feel. What this does is it makes the brand more memorable and it keeps it at the top of your mind. A perfect example of this is the LeBron James and Hennessy ad that just dropped. LeBron teased it as the second decision, and if you watch basketball, you know that the first decision was when LeBron James announced that he was leaving Miami Heat, and then now if he says the second decision, you're thinking maybe he's leaving the Los Angeles Lakers or he's retiring or something. So now when that doesn't happen and it ends up as a Hennessy ad, it gives you this mixed emotional reaction, but at the same time you're never going to forget that advert. So that enhances your recall and you're never going to forget that. You'll be surprised the next time you're drinking or you feel like drinking, you'll be drinking Hennessy just because of that brand is still in your mind. So brands use customer testimonials, they use celebrity endorsements, or they use group participation. What they're trying to do is create social proof. They use social proof to leverage the psychological desire to fit in. It's an innate psychological desire. People tend to be easily influenced by a group rather than sticking to one individual opinion. So when ads do that, when they have groups of people in the ad, or they use like a celebrity that everyone likes, or they use, testimonials of people that have already experienced that telling you this brand is this, you tend to believe those group of people rather than your own opinion. So that's a psychological desire that brands try to evoke with this kind of adverts, with this kind of commercials. This one is pretty easy to understand. They're called trust markers. Trust markers. You can even use it for your personal brand. Experience, certification, how many years you've been in the industry. Brands use this kind of things to create credibility and trust between them and their customers or their the viewers of the commercial. So as a YouTuber, you can say, I've been doing this for this X amount of years, and this gives you credibility because people will say, okay, if you've been doing it for this amount of years, so you have experience and I can trust your product. The best example for this I can give is the State Farm commercial. So they keep repeating that jingle at the end, like a good neighbor, State Farm is here, at the end of every single commercial. So it's repeated over and over and over. So it's now stuck in your mind. So this allows for long-term brand recognition. So it could also be a mascot, it could be a jingle, it could be a catchphrase, like the viral Jet to Holiday, nothing beats a Jet to Holiday. That's been repeated over and over, and they have that core message infused into those jingles or catchphrases, which makes you remember that brand anytime you're thinking of that particular field or industry. You're seeing them as the top because they're like stuck in your mind. It's just like a jingle, it's a song, it's easy to remember. Commercials often use limited offers or limited edition products to create a sense of urgency or a perception of scarcity which motivates you to now take action. Psychologically, see it as a game. They gamify the process, so they create reward tie-ins. This item is so unlimited, so let's all compete to get to the item, kind of thing. So it triggers your brain's dopamine systems for a stronger response. So you're most likely going to take action. So that's the whole point of making it scarce or making it urgent, putting a limited offer on products. That's what it does psychologically. Personalization is very important because you're communicating with a direct group of your audience, certain group of your audience or a certain individual, but you're communicating directly with your core audience. Unlike the smaller brands, major companies use advanced data analytics to create ads that speak directly to a core segment of their audience or even individuals. The immersive experiences are what help the brand to key in to what their audience want. So when you see a poll and you have certain options and you can choose one you want. So brands use this to collect data on what their audience, exactly what their audience want, so they don't have to guess or try to create a product that they don't know what the response is going to be. They can know exactly what their audience want and they can meet those needs straight up. What this helps them do is they deepen their engagement with their audience or their fans or their viewers or their customers, and it helps to stand out from the cluttered environment. The psychological foundation for ads is universal, but big companies use like advanced data analytics and storytelling and audience targeting, and that helps them stand out from other brands, stand out from the smaller brands. I wasn't trying to be, like negative towards these brands. I was just trying to bring attention to how these brands are able to make you do something subconsciously without you even knowing what you're doing. But at the same time, it's not a negative thing. You can use this in your own personal brand, you can use this in your business, and I advise you, or I urge you, not advice, I don't want to be an advisor or whatever, but I urge you to look at these tactics and these methods and try to implement them in your own brands. Even though you don't have the budget like the bigger brands, 100% you could find a way to integrate these tactics when you're making an ad or a commercial, or you're trying to do some marketing online on social media. I really appreciate you watching this video. You can click the like button if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting 2 or 3 videos every single week. Watch out for the shorts and the blog posts I'll be putting on my YouTube, so we can interact and create a more, community of brand owners or filmmakers. Anyone you are, the main thing is to filmmakers. If you want to be a commercial director, I think this channel is going to be very helpful to you if you're a beginner and you don't know really what way to go or how to really carve your way into the market, because it's a big market and it's very, very competitive, and you need to really know the tactics that everyone else is using so you can use them to your own advantage and not be left out. See you in the next video.